Is this Starbucks? You brought me Get this out of here. Bring back some local coffee. Oh, Raleigh, hello, hello. I'm so sorry you had to see that, Raleigh. Once again, it is Robert Courts, local entrepreneur, local art enthusiast, and all-around groovy cat. And today we're going to take a bit of a departure from our normal broadcast, and we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and I know it's one of yours, Raleigh. Money, money, money. And I'm very pleased to have a personal friend and an advisor of mine, Darryl Banks, who's a financial advisor, all around groovy cat. Thank you, Darryl, for joining us.
Robert, thanks for having me today. I appreciate it.
Been trying to get you on here, Darryl. I really like your style of advice. You are absolutely, you individualize, you take the time and the energy to really get to know a client before you move forward. So and your extreme level of honesty and your ability to deliver tough news nicely. If you don't mind me tooting your horn.
That's very kind of you to say, Robert. Thank you.
I'll toot it, but you tell us a little bit about your practice, please, Darryl, would you?
Yeah, a little bit about my practice. My practice is here in North Raleigh. I'm right in the Wakefield community. I live within miles of my practice. This is Raleigh is where we raised our kids. They went to the local North Carolina schools. It's been home to us for over 20 years now, and we love it. So starting my practice over 4 years ago was the ability to not only live in the community, but work in the community. And that's made a real difference for me. It's a lot more fulfilling than a corporate job that I used to have that didn't really have any connection to the community. So it's been great to be here. I've definitely connected more with those things that are in the community that are important to me. I appreciate and enjoy my time with the Wake Forest Rotary Club. I like working with the Wakefield school systems, and we're starting some nonprofit organizations there to help the schools, which is good for the entire community. And like I say, I'm just really I've quickly put down roots here. So yeah.
And furthermore, you've been a very good steward of the community. I know you do a lot with the Wakefield school system, and you invited me to several things, and I appreciate that.
Yep, we absolutely love to have you or anybody else that's passionate about education and helping kids.
Well, I look forward to it as soon as we get out of quarantine. But so a lot of people have this idea of a financial advisor do one or two things, but it's really a fairly all-encompassing financial aspect in a way. Could you speak to that, please, Darryl?
That's a great question. Everybody understands that the financial advisor is there to help create wealth and grow your wealth. But it's more than that. It's definitely more than that. The other side is there's two other big ticket items, and that's to protect your wealth from sickness, if you're sick, or premature death, or or Uncle Sam. And the last one is to make sure that when you've worked that hard and created a legacy, that your wealth transfers in the way that you want to your charities and to your loved ones. And those are two really big pieces that I find that my clients, they're so heads down trying to make money that, and I'm asking them questions about what they want it to do for them and how it's going to live after them and be part of their legacy. So, yep, absolutely. Full life cycle and how your money works, right?
Well, yes, and you really opened my eyes to legacy. I hope to be able to keep my lifestyle, but also hope to pass something on to, my kids and grandchildren and give them a look up as my parents and grandparents have done. So I don't want that to stop here. And you really have to think and plan for that a little bit.
You bet. You're absolutely right. It's if you don't plan for it, maybe you get what you want, and most likely you don't. So
it's not been my experience.
Right.
So, Darryl, we're asking all of our friends and interviews, now that we're in the COVID-19 quarantine, we're 3+ months in, we've seen a lot of scary things happen all over. Can you help provide some calm to the stormy waters?
Sure. So you're right, Robert. The COVID and how that's affected our economy is absolutely, takes over about 7.5 hours of my day, right? To make sure that my clients understand the strategies that we have accounts for the fact that volatility occurs in the market. Volatility, although it doesn't feel good, is actually normal, expected, and healthy, right? So we shouldn't change a long-term strategy for a short-term behavior. I heard it said, by J.P. Morgan's chief global economist last week, that this is sort of a bookended recession. It started with the virus, and it really won't end until there's a vaccine. So although we have had in the February March timeframe a breathtaking drop in the market of 34%, and in the following month an equal astounding recovery, it's not over. Expect the volatility to continue for some period of time. And really it's about understanding, and when I work with my clients, it's what's most important for me is understand really what's most important to them and what tolerance they have for risk, because we want them to be able to tolerate this environment and not be up all night.
So I think of it as turbulence. You said it's normal. What were those again?
It's normal, healthy, and expected.
Right.
We should expect that the markets will move up and down. It would be nice if they only went up and to the right. And we've enjoyed a 10-year run of that, right? A little over a 10-year run of that. But there's COVID has absolutely been a disruptor for that for us, and the rest of the world for that matter. There really wasn't a problem with the economy. The economics in the U.S., people had jobs, they were spending money, and companies were making money. That's really the ticket. And all that was happening before the disease, and we shut things down.
There are also strategies for creating wealth in these turbulent markets. So if that's something you want to look into, you would be the man to call. Is that right, Darryl?
Absolutely. One of the things I help clients do, and as part of our strategy, is it's really what we call asset allocation. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole on that.
Please don't.
But sometimes what that really means is to lean into the pain. And so when the market's at its lowest, I'm calling clients and saying, it's time to rebalance your portfolio. I want to buy more stock. And I know that kind of gets a head scratch from them, and they ask why. And I said, do you like to buy when stuff is on sale, or do you prefer to pay an ever increasing price for it? The stock market's a funny thing. It's people don't like a sale. It doesn't feel good to them, but they only come around very, very infrequently. And this was an opportunity for the clients that took advantage of it.
Right. So who doesn't love a sale? So, so what I hear you saying, and please correct me if I'm wrong, is first, don't panic, right?
Yeah.
Second, call your financial advisor and have a conversation. And Darryl, I like you in the backyard. I love that you're literally tending Raleigh's backyard and what you do. But that's also important when you're working with a professional. Can you just speak another minute or two toward how personal your relationship with your clients really are?
Absolutely. As I said, what's most important to me is understand what's most important to my clients. And I consider myself part of their professional team. I need to understand their goals to help get them there financially. But I need to work with their other professionals. So I kind of think of myself as the quarterback for their professional team, to work with their tax professionals, their legal professionals, to make sure that we get all of those things I talked about earlier, that we're making sure that we're efficient with their taxes, making sure that we're efficient with their legacy and estate plans, and not only just that we're all optimizing individually, but that we're working together. So they have a team of professionals working for them, and I try to be the quarterback of that team.
If you're my quarterback and I don't have a lineman or an estate attorney or anything, to take the analogy too far, you have people you know, like, and trust?
Absolutely. Just like you, Robert, and the mortgage professors, I have other professionals that I know, like, and trust, work closely with. They have perhaps done work for me personally, which makes it very easy to vouch for their professionalism and service. And those are the kind of professionals that I bring to the table for my clients. I get all kinds of questions from, contractors, to anything else you can imagine. That's
Right.
what my clients, they feel comfortable to call me and ask for all sorts of referrals, and I'm happy to give them, like I say,
Right.
for trusted professionals.
Well, that's actually how we kind of met, is through a side alley. I did, we sat beside each other a couple times before I really knew what you did. So, anything else you want to add before I start tooting your horn again?
The only other thing I'll say that COVID really overshadowed here, that I've been spending some time now that we're sort of past the bumpiest part of the economy with COVID, is in December, our Congress quietly passed one of the most sweeping laws affecting individual retirement accounts. They dropped a few breadcrumbs that were great for the individual investor, but they also did a couple things that were really basically revised legacy planning over the course of the last 10 years. Mm-hmm. So I'm spending time with some of my retired clients who have a lot of wealth, to make sure that wealth can transfer, according to their wishes, in the most tax efficient advice. I mean, we're looking at potentially the impact that it has to clients is a potential 40% impact. Can you imagine that, working all your life, creating a lowly nest egg and giving 40% of it to Uncle Sam? As I said, I'm not opposed to paying taxes. I'm opposed to paying more taxes than we need to. So that's the big thing that I'm, kind of making clients aware of now and trying to work through.
Well, if we have these questions, if anybody is listening and you need a top-notch, dedicated, all-around good financial advisor, I highly recommend Darryl. Darryl, how do we get in touch with you?
Great question, Robert. I'm in my office Monday through Friday. Have been ever since this started. It's just I'm not inviting the clients in these days, so we do virtual like you and I are doing now. But please, nobody should hesitate to call us if we can be a resource. It's a 919-435-1256, and you get me or my office manager, because we're the only team that's here. So that's that kind of personal and local service.
Well, Raleigh, let me just add again, that is exactly the kind of service you would expect from your financial advisor, situated right here, where? In your backyard. So Raleigh, if you have any questions about your retirement, insurance, legacy, any and all of that, it's all right here with Darryl Banks in your backyard. Darryl, thanks for joining us, and I hope to see you on the street.
Take care.
See you soon, Raleigh.